Good morning, everyone. This is the 6th event at Creative Mornings, and we're really happy to see such a huge crowd today. So, a few things, we face a lot of limitations in an urban community that we live in. One of the limitations happen to be stereotyping. And we like to categorize people and know every person as this one thing that they're good at and nothing more than that. We've all been victims to it, and we know a lot of people who are, we're also the ones that stereotype these people as well. But this is why it kind of was a journey on its own for us to figure out who this man, Premjit Ramachandran, really is. Because he introduced himself to us as an artist, and that's how he's known. But really to us, after we spoke to him and got to know him, he is truly nothing but a storyteller, and medium is just a tool for him. His limitation is never medium. He uses filmmaking, art, painting, music. So he's been traveling around the world, and he's had so many stories that he wants to tell people, and he uses a lot of mediums. You'll see he is truly a whole array of things hidden beneath him. It's my pleasure today to welcome on stage Mr. Premjit Ramachandran.
What I'll do is I'll just show you some of the work that I've done in the last 15 years, which covers graphic design, film, music, and a whole lot of other things. So I'll show you a PDF. This is a set of paintings that I did for a project which is called Psychograph of Dara Okat. I kind of rechristened myself after this incident that happened in Vashisht. I started an art collective with 3 people, but my best friend died on October 29th last year. He was my best friend. He died when he was just 24 years old. Nitin Gopi. He taught me a lot of things, and I dedicate my life now to him. And these are a set of drawings that I drew which were kind of related to him. It's like the archaeology of mind, and that is him actually. The one on top, that's him, because he was bald. He had a mohawk. And this is his favorite song. It's a song by Alt J. It's called Breeze Blocks. Next. This is a set of experimental artworks that I did for myself. Actually, most of the work that you see here is pro bono. It's all for the soul. I've not done much work for money. This is actually something that happened by chance on Photoshop. Just fooling around, and suddenly this weird thing happened and everything became multiplied. It was a mistake. This is the film that I'm going to make on him. I've shot a lot of footage with him in the film. The concept of the film is actually he's playing death as the protagonist, and he's looking for his next prey. So he walks around the village and he plucks apples from the trees, and he meets an electrician, an old electrician. His name is Bole, and he plays a game of cards with him. But unfortunately, he became death himself, my friend. That's him over there, that one. And this is his hand. That's him. It's a song by Grizzly Bear, an American band. The song is called Marla. You can look it up on YouTube. This is a set of postcards that I made. I had an idea for a fictitious art community in the mountains. So this is a set of postcards that I made, which the residents were writing, sending to the founder, who's this weird, mysterious character called Dara Okat, which I became now. So, next. This is a branding for an opera district. This is a paid project. I sometimes charge $25,000 for a logo, because I worked in big branding agencies. So this is for Dubai Opera District. Now the interesting thing with this identity, because it's typography. I'm a typographer, so this is the musical notations. It's 5 lines, and that's the rest. The line of the I becomes the rest between 2 sets of notes. So Dubai Opera District, 3 lines. It's a big project. It's happening in Dubai right now. So we did the branding for it. This is another community in Dubai. It's called Reem. The logo doesn't have any name in it. It's just this icon of a gazelle, because Reem means gazelle in Arabic. But a gazelle with horns, with a tree as leaves as its horns. This is an interesting project I did in Banaras on 31st December 2012, New Year's. When I was with Nitin, we lit a bonfire and I took really macro photography of fire. I brought the camera real close to the fire, extremely close. So this is black and white photography of fire, and you can see all sorts of shapes. And there's an interesting thing here because my birthday is 11/11, and I find this quite interesting. There's 111 and a dash. And that's like a guy and a girl or a woman and dancing. That looks like a horse, the last one. Next. Next. This is again in Banaras on the Ganga on 12th December 2012. It was sunless sky. And I wanted to take photographs of the Ganga on a sunless sky on 12th December 2012. So these are black and white photographs taken with my iPhone, which I kind of blew up and did an exhibition in Vashisht after this. In Banaras. Next. These are a set of triptychs. In fact, the first row is my mom, and she's sitting there on the third row, second person. That's her eyes and her lips. Second one is Vishwanath, he's my boatman in Banaras. And the third one is my ex-girlfriend, Shruti. Next. This is an interesting film project that I did in Oroville about a genius. His name is Aurelio. He makes musical instruments. He creates these metallophones and gongs. And he allowed me to shoot in his house. I'm the only guy who's gone to his house, and he's lived in Oroville for the last 15 years. He's never allowed anyone into his house. So he was playing the gong. You can see this film. I'll play it for you later after this. This also I'll play you later. This is a film for a school for underprivileged children in Banaras. It's called Little Star School, and it was started by a woman called Asha Pandey. She started with 14 children. Then when I went there, she had about 800 children. I made this film, put it up on YouTube, and now with that money from donations and contributions, we built 2 buildings. And now she has over 3,000 children, and it's just I have to go to Banaras and do more work on this project as well. I'll show you this film as well. It's just 8 minutes. Next. This is a set of photographs called Abstract Collision. What's interesting about this project is it's macro photography. So I shot things that are like 1 inch by 2 inches and 2 inches by 3 inches, and I blew them up to like 20 feet, 30 feet. In fact, if you go to Alila Hotels and Resorts, which is a project that my brother designed, who's sitting on the third row again, you will see these paintings, these photographs, 20 feet. But it's ironic because the actual thing is only like 2 inches. So there's infinity even in the smallest of things, outside and inside. Next. Yeah, these are a set of drawings again which I did in Vashisht. Black and white illustrations depicting various visceral experiences in the Himalayas. So Neti means not this, not that. It's there in the Upanishads, you might be knowing about it. From memory. This music, by the way, is live seagulls in the Banaras. It's a branding for it's supposed to be an art gallery kind of lounge bar place, which is in Whitefield. It's my sister-in-law's place. So she wanted a name, so I crafted this logo based out of circles and squares. Next. This is again my brother's work, architecture work. He's probably the best architect in the whole cosmos. You should work with him. You should give him a round of applause actually for this work. This is again Abstract Collision, which was done in 2011. So I have like 600 of these photographs. So I want to do an exhibition and sell it because I can like print this and frame it for like $6,000 and sell it for 20,000. So it's a big profit actually. Next. This is an experimental film that I shot in Hadimba temple in Manali. I was living in Vashisht for a long time. I've been going there for the past 5 years. This is an interesting story because it shows the interaction between like poverty and rich people That guy is sitting there under Hadimba temple and begging for like, it's a film that is shot without any editing. I used a small stealth camera and tripod and no one knows what I'm doing. And that guy is begging, this guy is looking and no one cares about him. There's a big group of students taking a photograph in front of him while this guy is asking for 10 bucks. Next. Blue and green, interesting project of nature's threads, as I call it. It's just shots of trees, but it's blue, sky and green. So blue in green, which is big. Interesting people in Himachal, which is my home also. Banaras, Himachal and Wayanad, Kerala. You can see all these later in detail. Okay, this is another interesting project that I did for myself and for my community, which is called Hinterland. It's a script font that I created myself, based out of circles and squares. My logo is an eye with a dot, so I created the font and the type through that. So if you see all the letters, it's A, B, C, D till Z, and 1 to 0, 1 to 9, 1 is 1 line, 2 is 2 lines, 3 is 3 lines, 4 is 4 lines, and so on. And that's a bit of exploration of how that would look on like applications and stuff. This is a very interesting magazine that my friend started. His name is Frank Calero. He's Brazilian. I made an interesting bear video with him, which we could load up as well. So it's a pan-Asiatic photographic magazine, which is now in its 5th issue. I've done the typography for it and the graphic design with him. So he sourced all great photographers from Asia, and he's made this amazing book, which is a very interesting size. It's available anywhere now. It's called Punctum. Oh, this is Victor Wooten. He's a genius bass player. He came to Bangalore for a workshop and I went for it and I shot the whole thing. And it was really life-altering experience because he said some things about music that... This is also on my website, by the way. You can see it. He said some amazing things about music that I would never forget because the first thing that he said in the movie, in the exhibition, there was that he held his bass guitar and he said, all musical instruments sound the same. Listen. And there's no sound. Okay, next. Time and place is also another big project that I did in Kerala. I was living in Wayanad for 4 months in a house on the hill with 360 degrees views. That house was called Vismayagiri. I'll be going there soon and visiting all these people. I'll be visiting all these people because they're all my friends. But the guy, there's an interesting, sad story. I made a film on a floating man. He floats on his back in water. His name is Papachan, the second guy. He committed suicide 2 months back. Next. This is the bear video that I shot in Banaras. I bought bear costume and a bird costume. And me and my friend Frank Calero, we ran around in the streets of Banaras in gullies. And we made this crazy video for this German band called Anxiety Team. So this film also I'll show you later. This is a great man, Padma Shri Balkrishna Doshi, 86 years old. My brother and me made a film on him. It's on my website, you can see it. I'm not going to go into, it's too much stuff to tell about him. Rillallah in Arabic means one who's blessed by Allah. So my friend, Muslim guy, my best friend's brother, he was starting a organic tea and coffee company packaging. So I did the packaging for it. Called it Rilla, and if you see the L and the A become a leaf, and I use the motifs of those different leaves as a background material for the packaging. Wipro approached and said that they're starting an eco initiative called they wanted a name and a branding for it, so I called it EcoEye, and it's basically an internet initiative that Wipro has started, and this is now active. It's become really big. Thousands of people in Wipro are using this intranet. Set of films for Swasti, which is a National Health Resource Center. They work with sex workers in Bangalore. So set of 3 films that I made for them. An amazing project. I met people in sex work who have had the really unbelievably sad lives. And now this initiative is helping them with banks and cooperative systems and helping them with doctors and all that kind of stuff. So that's called Empowerment and Beyond. Very good project. Enjoyed, wrote the music and did the whole thing. I, by the way, do everything myself. I don't depend on anyone. One man show. So this is with me and Prakash, but all my stuff is, I don't depend on anyone or work with anyone because I want complete creative control on my projects. Maya Organic is my mother's name is also Maya, by the way. But Maya Organic is a NGO that works with artisans from all over India. It's run by this guy called Solomon, who's an amazing genius. So he wanted me to make some logos for him, and this is how the logo. Next. UKN Properties is probably one of the big property real estate agencies and companies in Bangalore. So I created the logo and a lot of branding and advertising materials. It's basically UK to the power of N because that means infinity. So the tagline for the company is investing in infinity. And this is, my brother's done a lot of work with these guys as well. He's my brother-in-law, by the way. He's my sister-in-law's brother-in-law. This is fantastic. This is a newspaper that started in 1927. It's called the Musalman. It's the last handwritten newspaper in the world. So I went there to Chennai in 2007 and I shot about 45 minutes of this guy, Syed Fazlullah, who started this newspaper. And a few months later he passed away. And I'm the only guy who has any footage of this guy. And this film is also online, you can see it. Next. All this music is from this album. This song is called Hinterland. Now the thing is, this project is very personal to me because it talks about the evolution of consciousness. It's a set of 25 songs split into 3 different sections: autumn and winter, monsoon and spring and summer. So all this is from summer because it's very happy. So the summer songs have birds and all that stuff, and the winter stuff has like clarinets, which I played. I played 33 instruments, by the way. So I played all the instruments, composed everything, all the voice. I worked with trumpet players in London. Yeah, a lot of stuff. And the artwork also is created around that. That kind of drawing is called phrenology. It's an interesting concept in scientific drawings of the scalp, where you classify the brain in numbers. Next. This is also one of my songs. It's called Sleepyhead, which is inspired by Dear Prudence by the Beatles. And we went to London one day, me and my friend sent some joints and we started shooting. And we made this video. It's also online, you can see it on my website. Fantastic project. 7,000 home township in Cairo, on the biggest hill right in the middle of Cairo. It's called Mokatam Hills. I made this logo as a fashion brand because we wanted to show something that would be completely different from any real estate township that you see. So that is inspired by CA, which is California, but it's also like Gucci or Prada or Yves Saint Laurent or something, you know. So that's the kind of branding for that. And when we launched this brand in Cairo, we just had these huge boxes with CA written on it for like 2 months. And everyone in Cairo was like, what is this strange thing coming from the sky? And then a few months later, we had a sales center which was designed by Landor Associates, the company I was working for. And this now has become super successful project in Cairo. And because of this, I learned a lot about archaeology also, because I did a lot of research about Cairo. And I'll go there one day and excavate. Next. This is the branding for a company called Jadwa Investment, which is the king of Saudi Arabia, his company. He comes to Landau one day in his Rolls Royce and he says, I need the logo for my company. It's called the Jadwa, you make logo. And I said, okay, what logo you want? Then he said, oh, you make something nice, big. Okay, 3, okay? Yeah, 3. Send. This is really interesting because this is another township in between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Super expensive houses. It didn't happen though, it's a pitch. But the name is Saraya Bay. And since I lived in Dubai for 20 years, I can read and write Arabic. So I crafted the logo in Arabic. And that says Saraya Bay in Arabic, above Saraya Bay. So that reads, it's made out of circles. Next. This is a real estate company in Istanbul called Ipera. And they do homes which are they convert these old Victorian houses and they make them super high-end contemporary houses. And basically the font and the logo is representative of the Victorian motifs. So if you look at it kind of like flipped like that, it looks like a building's top, but very, very kind of ornamental. This is a spread for an Italian magazine called Fifi. The theme was, who says we have to be strong? So I said, we people grow beards and try to hide behind that. I mean, I had this big beard like last year till April. Since my friend died, next. This is my first film, which I shot in 2006 in the deserts of Dubai. It's about the tagline is, imagine waking in a desert and imagine waking and finding only yourself. So it's about one guy's journey inside his own subconscious mind. And it's 15 minutes and I've used the music of Rachel's, which is an American band, classical American band, silent film. It's fully in black and white, but the last section is in color. And the guy, the hero, Mark Rossiter, the guy in the middle, he grew his beard for 6 months, just for 1 month, 1 minute of screen time. 6 months, just for 1 minute of screen time in the film. So website for another film that my friend made. Next. Set of photographs. I created that font. I mean, whatever you see here, when I've done it. So this is actually a photo from a trip when my brother and me and a few other people went to Tanjore. But there are a lot of other photos. It's called an incomplete photo essay. So I want to do this as a traveling photographic project also. Black and white. Next. The Place project is Wasova Artworks in Spain invited 36 designers from around the world and asked them to create 20 pages of non-digital art, so you can't use the computer. And I was sitting in Bijoy's office and working on this in 2004, and I created 20 pages of non-digital art, cutting, drawing, and they send the book to you, you do the stuff and you send that book with a video which you have to shoot and a t-shirt, and you send the whole thing next to the next designer. Travels all over the world, and that book is now in the Contemporary Center of Culture in Barcelona. Wow. This is, I was slyly dating this girl in my brother's office. Her name is Sridevi. So I made these set of abstractions of her face and I gave it to her as a gift for New Year's in 2004. Told her, sit down here and just check this out, boss. Loaded it up and she started crying. Next. Some illustration, early works, forget it. Next. Finished, I think. Next, no? Is it over? Oh, this is the opening invite for my brother's studio in 2003. That's Anjali, my brother's daughter. If you want to meet her, you can go to his house and meet her. She's amazing. And she has a brother also, Siddharth. Superb. And that's me with the bear and my face is masked. Okay. Am I on? Okay. The Swaram film was on the Cinema Paradiso Award at the Orville Film Festival last year, and I'm going to go back. The thing is, I'm planning a concept called the Exodus 110. Exodus means Exodus 110. So I'm going to go to all these places that I've shot these films in. So Banaras, Orville, Wayanad. I've done a lot of work in Madhya Pradesh also. So I want to go to all these places, meet all these people and screen these films for them and start doing grassroots intervention programs. And this is where what I'm working towards is Hinterland, what it means is, what it means is it's an area lying beyond what is visible or known. So now the logo for this project, you can see many things in this logo. You can see two people shaking hands or hugging, but you can also see a face, a guy with a handlebar mustache. You can see H, but it's H made up of 11 squares. 11, my birthday is 11th November. So. And it's also H for happy, hugs and heaven and Himachal and all these things. I was planning to do this in Himachal, but since a lot of strange things happen in Vashisht, many people I know died over there and in the last 7 months. I decided since I'm Malayali and I'm Kerala, I'll do it in Kerala because that's where I'm from, and Wayanad means a lot more to me than a stupid place in the Himalayas where people are so crazy. and the concept is collective consciousness. And Hinterland is a German word. So this is something I wrote really long back. When I had this idea in 2009, I suddenly had this vision. It just came to me, and this 2 paragraphs I wrote just as industrialization began to take over. I began planting the seeds of Earth realization, a 14-volume, 133,000 word document on the consideration and the understanding of our Mother Earth and the wonderful harmony of its existential elements. These detailed descriptions and hand-drawn sketches of his artworks were displayed at the Okat lab, 55, I don't know why this number came to me, and were conceived on a windy night. It was around this time he began with the conceptual drawings of Hinterland, a place according to him for everyone and no one. It's not a place for anyone in particular, it's for any kind of living organism, animals, trees, botanical gardens, snakes, elephants, anything. So it's not about the ego and you say that this is my place. It's not something like what Aurobindo and Mother said, took ownership of and tried to impose their ideas. It was great ideas, I'm not saying they're bad, but no one understood it in Orwell. I want a place where people can bring their ideas to the forefront. Collective consciousness is the concept. It's not about one man's ideas. So many people sitting here, each person has so many ideas for an idyllic society. You tell me what they are, let's do it. And I've written maybe more than 100,000 words on this concept. I have a blog, it's called Hinterland, which I've been maintaining since 2009. I've written every day on that blog. You can check it out on my website. So this is just an 11-page concise version of that. Next. These are called vision expanders, by the way. Dara Okat vision expanders, Dove. This is my biography, it's really detailed. I mean, I think Shiva will send it to you guys. Next. Go forward. Okay. This is the important part. Now the whole project as I see it is, for now, split into 9 planets, I call it. 9 sectors, 9 tangents. One of them is called the Soul. It's a school of unconditional love. It's a school for city kids and village children that teaches fine arts, performing arts, conducts festivals. It follows the concept of J. Krishnamurti and what he's done in Rajghat Besant School and Rishi Valley and Valley School and Center for Learning and all these places. I've read a lot of his work, so I've applied a lot of his ideas into this. And it's there's no examination. The students come there. It's kind of like you come there and you always create and you learn about things that are important, not about politics and all these things. It's about art, heart. 9 is a recording studio. 9 with a colon is the bass clef in musical notations. It's a recording studio that collaborates with artists all over the world, conducts workshops and festivals, and I'll work with Swaram, bring musical instruments to Bangalore and to other places, have branches of that, and sell these amazing instruments because these instruments can be played by anyone. It's not meant for musicians who have 15, 20 years experience in something. Anyone can play it. Mirror Farm is a place for screenings because the screen is like a mirror. You're looking at yourself and trying to relate to what you're seeing on the screen. Because Tarkovsky made a film called Mirror, Andrei Tarkovsky, and it's based on that. Alpha Swessort, it's a computer in the film Alphaville, which is a film by Jean-Luc Godard, film from the New Wave in the 60s. And what this Alpha Swessort is, it's a computer that runs this fictitious city. It's a computer that runs the city of human beings. So human beings don't have any clue of love or anything because it's a computer that's owning them. So that is the film Alphaville, which you can look it up. It's a Jean-Luc Godard film, a City of Light, amazing movie. Next. This is what I wanted to do in Himachal. It's called OM, Organic Movement. So I'll work with numerous organic farmers from India and abroad and build a large reservoir of organic vegetables, fruits. Because what I wanted to do in Himachal at one point is work with people who have sheep and develop wool coats, jackets. I designed a lot of stuff, worked with a lot of tailors. I even designed one coat. I sold it to a Japanese guy for 40 grand. Got it made only for like 5 grand. Then I wanted to do apple samosas. So I went to this cafe and I asked this guy to make apple samosas. I used to take my Bose there and blast music there for like 7,000 hours maybe. But one day what happened is these 4 guys, when I was leaving, they asked me for 10 bucks for my chai. So I said, you want 10 bucks from me when I've taught you so much about like Mongolian music, African music, Drupad, and all these things. Same day, these guys left drinking, driving, all for dead. In a strange freak Tata Sumo went into Bias from Shiva temple on the way to Mandi. Chaman Cafe in Vashisht, all for dead. Anyway, forget that. So, fruits, medicinal herbs, because I know this guy called Ben Heron, he had a company called Biolaya in Himachal. So I'll work with him because he was a specialist in organic medicinal herbs, extracts, jams, other sustainable solutions, rabbit fur derivatives. This is all in Himachal, those things might not apply here. Abstract collision is the art wing. Then ode is another concept which is a place for orphans, disabled and elderly people. Now this concept I can apply to UKN properties because what they're planning to do is have these old age homes, super high-end old age homes, so I could probably plug this into that. 11,000 Things is a shop of things where you can buy postcards and prints and caps and mugs and CDs and whatever. The record label will have CDs of their artists in the shop. And now the most important thing which I want to talk about is the vestibule. The vestibule basically is the vagina. It's the place where you go back to. And what that is a library housing a large collection of art books, books on film and music. Now the thing is, I spent maybe more than 10 lakhs on Amazon.com. I even have a certificate from them, best customer of all time. I bought like 5,000 original CDs, 3,000 DVDs. Each DVD is like $120. Criterion collection. Tarkovsky, Kurosawa, Kieslowski, you name it, everything. All this stuff is in a warehouse. I need to evacuate that stuff from a warehouse. It costs only 27,000 bucks, but unfortunately I have only 42 bucks in my bank. So if anyone wants to help me out with this, get in touch. 20 musical instruments. I have like, this sarod is 80 years old, 1927. I got it in Banaras. I have one more sarod. I have a 150-year-old German harmonium, a 90-year-old tabla. I have 20 Tibetan peace bowls. I have a sitar that's broken into two, but I can fix that. Many things, too many things. If you want to know what I have and how you can help me get this out of a warehouse, just let me know. And this could be elaborated in a book with illustrations and conceptual drawings, which you'll see now. And Hinterland and then that's a book which I want to do, Hinterland, idea for government, idea for developers, ideas for people. Next. Now what I was doing in Himachal is I had this image, I wanted to do these huge stone and wood houses in the forest, like arrows, like triangles in the sky, you know. So I wanted this ice cream cone structure, where you enter the structure and it's a circular room, as you can see. I mean, and in the middle is a musician or a sculptor or a dancer or a filmmaker or a satsang or something, and people are sitting around them in a spiral. There's an interactive kitchen on the side, and this concept is, I collect stones. I was 85 kilos last year in April, but I used to collect stones from the river, like maybe 70 kilos a day. Red, green, blue, crystal and all, so big. So I used to take all this to Vashisht in my kilta with my dogs while they were playing in the river. Every day, I have maybe more than 700 kilo stones. So I have this idea of showing this stone to an architect and say, build this, boss. Exact. I want the same thing. This is the design, do it. But it's 50 feet, 100 feet, 7 floors, 11 floors. If you have the cash, make it, man. What's the big deal? Next. So that's the idea for that. Those were the 3 sections in Vashisht what I was planning to do, but since I evacuate from there now, I'll apply this to Wayanad. Hinterland supports the organic movement and it will become a space where people can buy musical instruments. I'm going to import instruments from Japan, Africa, Switzerland. In Bern, you have this thing called a hang drum. You can play it like this. It's got 7 notes. So I want to import all these interesting instruments, work with Swaram, people like Rudy in Windmills, Vishwaraj in Counterculture, and I want to do a grunge revival youth festival, Grief, in celebration of Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley's death, which was on April 5th. So this is basically the stuff I want to do, rabbit fur products, apple derivatives, wine, jam. These are Baba bags. This takes 10 months to make. You have a piece of wool, you make it into 2, And the guy makes it, he spends 10 months, he sells it for like 5 grand after spending 10 months of work, 20 hours a day, 5 grand. And this guy asked him to write on this, "Don't break my heart." So Baba bags and all this, helping artists display their work, gallery space, so many things. Okay. There's an amazing artist in Wayanad, his name is Paris Mohan. I asked him to do conceptual drawings of my idea of Hinterland. I told him make a deer or something with a tree head. He did that. And recently I did a branding with that also. His concept is woman and nature, that's it. Watercolors. Every painting, 7 months, 8 months, one line. He's breathing with every line. Next. So I have originals of these paintings, also in the warehouse. 27,000 bucks. For material worth more than 50 crores. Okay, next. Yeah. So how does this relate back to hidden? Is the question. Now, the meaning of the word hinterland is an area lying beyond what is visible or known. It's a hidden place. So it's a hidden place in the forest. In Wayanad, you want to go to a place where you walk through the forest and finally you find an oasis. A place where you can meditate and create your art and do so many things away from the maddening crowd. But you can apply this concept in Bangalore also, just in Kanakpura Road or something. It's possible. Because that's also a hidden place. So this is how everything kind of beams up. If anyone wants to work with me on this or be part of the Exodus or help me out with ideas and think of a project, or you want me to do anything, just let me know. I have my visiting cards and we can keep in touch. So that's it. You want me to do
Something someone from our team, Vandana, made last night. We're not going to tell you what it is. The utility is hidden.